Hello, what up, what up? What are the signs that you're not a beginner anymore? In my book, in my personal book, beginner is someone that has recently started riding. So, as a first sign, I would say, the way you know that you're not a beginner, that you've been riding over a year, even if you have not been riding as much as other people have, you're not new to the hobby. Okay, so that's first. The second item on my list would be confidence. And by that I mean confidence in your ride. When you make your movements, lane changes, accelerate, decelerate, there's a confidence in your actions. Because you've done it already many times. You don't get caught off guard every time you pull the throttle. Every time you try to brake aggressively, you're not like, oh, I did too much, or oh, I'm doing too little. So you have somewhat mastered the basic operating skills of the motorcycles. I don't like when someone just parks behind me. It makes me nervous. Anyway, the next item on the list is when even though you're not a beginner anymore, you will make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Even the most advanced riders out there. There is nobody who never makes mistakes and always rides perfect. But the difference this time is going to be when you make mistakes, you know what you did wrong and you know how to correct yourself. Let's say you get distracted for a second. You're skilled enough to know, oh, I'm distracted, and when you look up and you see some sort of obstacle, you're gonna know how to correct all that, how to emergency brake, how to not panic, how to see and avoid. Of course, there's only so much you can do if you make mistakes. But as a general rule, when you're not a beginner anymore, you will see mistakes you make, acknowledge what you did wrong, and somewhat kind of know the solutions to how to fix yourself or how to improve yourself so you don't make same mistakes as much. Point is, you know you're not beginner when you stop being insecure about everything. Being insecure about your bike, being insecure about what you do on two wheels, being insecure about what somebody else says about the way you rode or about your bike. It's like if somebody makes a comment that's supposed to be insulting, it's not gonna hurt you in a way that it would to a beginner rider. Or when somebody says that you're a beginner, you're gonna like, okay dude, whatever, I don't care. Because you're not a beginner anymore, you know what you're doing, and whoever is giving you negative comments is trying to just put you down for no reason. So there's some maturity involved with that, of course. Some people are just generally insecure and everything negative is going to hurt. Alright, so another point I wanted to make, this is also about kind of operating a motorcycle, but that's something like kind of clear, something a little more clear that I saw in my riding. Alright, so to my next point in this list is going to be something that I noticed on myself. So that was clear milestone for me that I knew I was kind of surpassing that beginner level. And that is when I started to manage my suspension. Especially on a beginner bikes. Suspension is no way near as stable on super sports, so it takes a little more finesse to ride it aggressively, even though you don't have as much power available to you. It still needs more management on your suspension. Meaning as soon as you press those brakes, nose starts to dive, or it likes to wobble a lot. I'll give you an example. When you pull, my nose does pitch up a little bit, but on beginner bike, it does way more. It's a lot more pronounced. And it's same with brakes. And if you're trying to go a little fast on a little bit of curve, even though it's not something that takes a lot of skill, you still need to do some sort of suspension management. Let's say you get up the throttle. On my beginner bike, it would dive forward a lot. It's kind of like when you start playing that 3D chess or 4D chess instead of 3D. That's my opinion. You know, I think I'm going speed limit right now, but sometimes I forget that my speedo is so off. I'm probably doing like 6 miles per hour lower than what I think I am, and I keep forgetting. Recently, I watched this one video where like 2 or 3 guys are chilling at the red light, and one of them just gets taken out by a car speeding in a second. And since then, I've been kind of a little paranoid. I constantly keep my eyes on the rear mirrors, see if traffic behind is actually slowing down. But anyway, let's go back to my list. And this is about habits, your riding habits. If you're a beginner, you will notice that you're putting yourself in a lot of danger. And a lot of that danger is from being not so experienced, where the way you ride is not reckless, but not as safe as it could be. You don't have habits built that will effortlessly keep you safe, like following distance, attention, looking ahead, staying ahead of your vehicle by quite a lot, so you are aware of what is going on ahead and not just what's in front of your immediate. Let's talk about our next point, and that is habits. Good habits, specifically ones that keep you safe on the road. As a new rider, you might notice that there's a lot of danger you're putting yourself into every day. And all of that is not kind of how it's going to be through your whole life of riding. It's just when you start out, you don't really know how to keep yourself safe on the road. Subconsciously, kind of effortlessly. What you need to do is build good habits over time that avoid putting you into a danger altogether. For example, like keeping a following distance, keeping your attention on everything that's going on, not really relying on your right of way, because a lot of times cars just do not see you, and not getting to focus on road rules, Because, again, if cars don't see you, they're not intentionally breaking your right of way most of the time. It's because they just don't know you were there, so somebody might swerve into you, or somebody might just brake too hard. But I don't know, anything could happen. But you will not rely on your right of way as much. You will pay attention differently to everything about what cars are doing. You will have this sixth sense about intentions of what all vehicles are doing. You can anticipate if somebody is going to come out of driveways or strip malls or anything. But all of that comes with time and experience. It's like, what's that called? Like subconscious something? It's kind of like that. You're subconsciously riding in a way that is keeping you safe. Another aspect of this good habits is when to go fast and when to chill down. You will enjoy scenery in the moments when you're exploring a new place, when you know there's been changes, or when you can see that you can't rely on traffic or road hazards to be consistent. Alright, guys, I'm not sure how many signs or points I brought. I could think a few more. Everybody's different. Everybody has different ideas and opinions. These were my opinions. So if you have different opinions, please write in comments. I would love to hear your opinions.